reactions. All right, for the dozens of viewers, but we will have thousands of viewers for the reactions. But for the dozens of the more cerebral viewers, welcome the man of the show, Chris Auber. The brainchild of this show, really,
Mm,
is Chris.
brainchild.
And
I
then
like
Joey Finro,
child. I like the child part most, but let's go
a
on.
child? What child part?
You said
Oh,
brainchild. I like the
brainchild.
child part.
Well, only he with the heart of a child shall enter the kingdom of heaven.
Dude, there we go.
The deeper meaning of that is to invest in altcoins. I
I
think.
That's
was
the
gonna
deeper.
say
That's the
you
deeper
went to
meaning.
the Bible like that,
And then had a
You
total
spent 20
transgression.
seconds.
I mean, I've got two
Deeper meaning is
practicing.
money.
I've got two
Yeah.
practice. I've got two practicing Christians with me,
No, practicing Christian.
and so I'm just a backslider a little
Whoa,
bit.
careful there, buddy.
But seriously, a lot going on since the last show. Joey Finro is our resident realtor, real estate agent, real estate investor.
Worldwide.
We bring him on for
Infamous.
macroeconomic conversations. But
Yeah.
when we react, Joey, it's two rich Americans. So now it will be three rich Americans for this
Oh,
one when we do our reactions. But I guess some of the things to help you get rich, are like we were having this conversation earlier about most people just think about their income and that's it.
well, that's
And
all
I
they
think
have to think about. They're living paycheck to paycheck, unfortunately.
but let's unpack
That
that.
number is growing more and more each year.
Right.
Yep.
And the number that's growing more and more each year is actually people not having enough of a paycheck to even get by.
Right.
Yep.
So investing is so
That's
far
another
off.
good conversation. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like wages haven't
investing.
gone up.
Well, thinking about investing is so far from. I don't know if it's the majority of America. Maybe. I mean, would be
Yeah.
sad.
No, I think that is right. That
So,
they don't care about that.
so here you go. Somewhere between 57 and 67% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck.
Okay.
That's a lot of people, man.
So let's say 50. Let's say half and half. So the other half.
But it
Don't
could be as
live-
high as 2/3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So socialism will. I think this socialism is going to make a strong comeback in this century. And
AOC.
well, I think she's a very mild version of that. I think she's like a tolerable version. I wouldn't mind
So like Bernie.
having
okay.
her. Yeah, Bernie is a mild version. I'm talking.
You wouldn't mind having her? Wow. So you like her dancing videos is what
I like her dancing videos. Nah, I mean, I think she's.
Wait, I gotta add some context to this. If she were fat and 65 and ugly, Dan would have no part of whatever she's saying.
Or probably half
What-
her fans today.
Yeah,
be
or
honest.
any of her fans today.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like her.
Um.
So she's
So wait.
anti-establishment, which for me is like a very high.
But she's not. She
principle.
voted
No.
with she's not. She voted with Pelosi 100% of the time.
Okay,
So
Well,
she's
fair enough.
not.
fair enough.
She says she is, but she's
I
not.
don't. Yeah, I don't know how she claims that. She does everything the far, far, far left wants to do. What does
No.
she disagree on from the far, far left?
No, that's not true, Joey. She just voted for keeping Israel funded, right? Which is
Shit,
not what the far
Chris,
left
God.
wants.
Way to ruin it. No,
No, she's establishment.
joking.
She's
I'm
establishment. That's
Chris
just
with the
proving
facts.
she's establishment.
fact checker.
Well,
Yeah.
who cares? I'm not talking about individuals, just but like socialism will come back because people don't have enough money
yeah, yeah.
to
They feel
get
like the
by.
American dream is unachievable. Yep.
Yes, and I reference this book often. It's somewhere in my closet. Capital. I read this book written by this socialist,
Yeah.
Thomas Piketty, but it's literally the history of capital. And he talks about how once the return on capital is more than the return on economic growth, the rich going to continue to get richer. And we are exactly in that
Boat.
period.
Mhm.
Like the return on capital, that you don't once you reach a number, a certain level, for every family it's different, But once you have enough to put away passively in investments without worrying about losing it, and let's say you did a bad investment, it doesn't wipe you out, you just recover and invest in something else, eventually you will do well because you have enough to get by, and then you have enough to put into investments.
Mhm.
The majority of Americans can't do that. And so you're going to have the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. And that formula is facts. I mean, unless the complete system is overhauled somehow, and that's I think
would
what they're
say
going to try to
it's
do.
people who own assets get richer, because it's not. I think Ben Shapiro, I feel made a very great comment on this, is that they're rich. It's not the same people, because the top, the one percenters or whatever that the left really likes to talk about. People don't stay on that list. People come in, people come out. Families go in, So you might own your house in some retirement, and eventually maybe you might get up there because of assets going up in value and what have you. So I don't, I guess I'm more of a, I still believe in the American dream, and I think if you own assets, you will get rich long term.
So, in that vein, Joey, while most Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, still the majority of Americans own a house or have other investments, right? Stock or things of that nature. Because I'm looking at the stats right now. So 62% of households own their home. Roughly 62% of Americans own stock. I assume this means you're 18 or older.
Yeah, and one day you'll be financially free.
Hopefully, right?
Like,
Hopefully.
But that's a
one
big
day, yeah,
conclusion.
Where it flips the script, and I agree with Dan then, is when those numbers are not in the majority, right?
when those numbers aren't in the.
Where
What do you mean?
Where, let's say 62% of Americans don't own their own home, 62% of Americans don't have an asset.
Then they are effed.
Yeah.
They are royally effed. They want socialism.
Yeah.
But it's
which is all younger kids, and that's the ones who are wanting.
Yeah,
the
and in 20
socialism.
years, we're going to be effed with that.
Yep.
But so I mean, wages. I do agree that wages need to go up. People do need to make more money. So how does that happen? But
Well,
I
they'll go
also, it's
down.
like, I
They'll
guess
go
I
down
don't
with
really,
AI.
I don't really have too much patience for individuals that don't own a home, but have a new car, have an iPhone, go on vacation, go to Starbucks every day. I just don't have patience for that, because I'm like, well, you're a victim of your own choices.
Joey's gonna get
Yeah,
cabs.
come on, baby, give me the comments, put me in there, coach. Because it's like, dude, if you took away that $1,500 iPhone,
His link is underneath this video.
yeah, like, subscribe, comment, share. If you take away the $1,500 iPhone, that you get every single other year or whatever, the new MacBook Pro, the new, $800 car payment. If you don't own your own home, you shouldn't have an $800 car payment.
Sure,
I mean,
but the fact that that's part of our culture is the reason why our GDP is still.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're a nation of consumers. So if they stop doing that, we're gonna have a recession, because that.
Well, no, it's people that have money should do that. It's not like
Yeah, but if the ones that don't,
when you are
because we're
making
financing them.
45,000 a year, you should not be going to Starbucks every day. You shouldn't have all these. I mean, I hate to go Dave Ramsey on you, but it's like,
come on, not
I mean,
Dave
this
Ramsey.
is what I love about, it's common sense.
I think he was short Bitcoin from like when it was $100.
If you're making well over six figures and you have no debt, yeah, have a new car, go to Starbucks every so often, but it's like, you got to get your priorities for. I think the biggest mistake is people go online. Now I'm sounding like Chris. Here we go. Come on now. People go online and they say, okay, you just get out of college and you see all your friends and everybody in the world, they're going on vacation. They have the nice Mercedes. They have,
Right.
and you think
you have to keep
at
up with the
18
Joneses.
Thank you.
Right.
You think at 18 years old, you deserve, living in your mom's basement or whatever, to go to Starbucks every day, to have the nice new clothes. It's like, no, there's levels to this. And a lot of people, like 10, 15, 20, 30 years and before, they had that delayed gratification and they earned it. They waited till they made the money to buy the Mercedes. But today it's like, no, you just get the Mercedes and then you just like keep renting, and that's what I
or
don't have
continue living in mom and dad's basement.
and have a nice big flat screen TV. I'm like, dude, like, I know TVs are getting cheaper, but it's like, that rubs me the wrong way. Where's your personal responsibility? Like, did someone hold a gun to your head to go to Starbucks every day and to do all this?
So
Because it's like, if you can buy, and I'll end at this, if you can buy a house,
Joey's cooking.
yeah, come on,
Let him cook.
3.5% down. I mean, like, dude, for 20, 30, $40,000 in a couple years of not doing all the bullshit I just said, you probably could be in a position to, get, maybe buy a house, or maybe it's 5 years, but I feel like the young people today don't want to sacrifice. They want all the luxuries today and deal with the investments tomorrow.
So here's a nice segue into what Dan wanted to talk about. So the problem is, Joey, which I understand that when you look at it, if you save your cash, right,
You're screwed.
you're screwed. It's just going to get pissed away because
Right.
cash loses
Long-term.
value.
Yeah,
It loses value every year, right?
Yes,
Right.
it does.
So you need to buy some pudgy coin.
Yeah. I mean, when it's hot, this is where you got to educate yourself.
Punchy coin.
You need to invest. Right? You take that Starbucks that you would have spent $7 a
That's
day
right.
on,
Yeah, be an owner.
and whatever
Well,
else you're blowing money
Hold on.
and then
But so
invest
even
it.
before you invest, because that's that's good advice, assuming you know what you're doing. Now, we need to start there, because before you even invest, how many people are learning on their own time
Wait,
how to better themselves
is there
financially?
a bad investment on the Dow right now? Really?
Right now, no, but how many people jump in
But
at
he's
that
saying about two
opportune
different- yeah.
window?
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna, and even if you do and get lucky, you're gonna get paper gains, and then the bottom's gonna fall out, and you're gonna be left with the same when you started, right? Or less. You're gonna actually lose.
You're
the money
both
you put
right,
in.
but you're focused. Yeah, no, Dan, I want to focus on what you're saying.
You need
and
to
then
focus on the
Chris-
education,
Yeah.
because you can invest. If you invest and you don't know what you're doing, you're gambling. Like,
Yeah.
Penguin Coin is gambling, but I think we're in altcoin season. I believe in
Right.
their thesis.
Completely agree.
Blah blah blah. Right? But how many people just do it because someone else told them, and then they get into Ponzi schemes, and then they lose everything they had, and they're like, "Fuck it, Wall Street's
Yeah, but
full of crooks."
there's a simple solution to this. If you don't know what you're doing, buy SPY and QQQ. You're
That's
good.
right.
How many people?
Yes, I
Chris,
agree with that.
The people Joey just described are gonna do that.
Well, I
The
don't know.
people,
They
They
should.
should.
they don't.
They
know.
Well,
should.
That's to Joey's point, right?
That's
They're blowing
exactly-
money when they could buy a share of either SPY or QQ.
But
each
and
month.
now today it's even easier because you can do
Right,
fractional
but who's
shares.
gonna know what SPY and QQQ from those people?
I know, but it's that same people that know everything about the damn Kardashians could
That's right.
spend out
That's right.
that energy in
But so
in a
whose job?
day.
Whose job is it
It's
to get the
personal
education?
responsibility. Like, period. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm so heated.
No, but
I'm sorry. I don't know why. But
I
it's
agree.
personal responsibility.
I agree, but when
Because here's a Dan. Did we talked about this over the phone? Did your
Yeah.
family teach you this, or did
No.
you have to figure it out yourself? Thank you.
my family didn't teach me
Same.
investments, they taught me
Same.
hard work. That's it.
That's
Mine
right.
too. That's it. Hard
That's right.
work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody taught me investments.
And look, and all
Matter of
three
fact, they taught
us-
the opposite. Save.
Yeah, right.
I
Don't
take
blow
it back.
money and save it.
Family, friends, I watched them from a distance, but in hindsight, they bought real estate. They came to the U.S. with nothing, and they bought real estate all throughout Santa Monica, and were
Dang.
multimillionaires with like
Dang.
elementary school dropouts from
Dang.
Romania.
Come on.
So I did learn indirectly through my family because they were friends with these people.
Mm.
But
yeah.
that's not at the time. You learn it later. Like in hindsight, you're like, wow,
Yeah.
they actually,
Yeah, it's after.
they're
yeah.
baller. Like they're rich. How do they do that?
Yeah.
But they educated themselves on real estate. Nowadays, you have more I guess, easier things to get into. Like you do, by the same token that you just said, Joey, you do have 16-year-old millionaires doing
I know.
crypto and
Yeah,
stocks.
very true.
So
And
you
most of them, or I would say the largest portion of those are they taught themselves from
that's
listening
right.
to people online, they podcasts, YouTube, taking courses,
So then it
and
goes back.
being able to do the fractional share stuff. Because it's like, dude, a lot of these people don't have 100 grand to go in and start at 14, 13,
Right.
15,
So
or
then it
maybe it's
boils
18.
down. So then if we go back a little bit further to first principles, what makes it? It's the willpower at that point. Like, how do you get that
It's a choice.
willpower or that ambition to make that choice? Because
So
I think the
It's just
willpower comes
maturity.
before the choice. No.
I disagree with both
No.
of you. I think it's jealousy. Most people just want to live in jealousy, right? They see people with money, and it's like, "Oh, I don't care how they got it. I just want it, right? They're jealous. They're envious.
Right. But
Whereas
some people will do that.
other people will see it and say, "Well, how'd you get there? Tell me. Explain it to me. What do I need to do?"
Right.
Right? So
Okay.
they rely on themselves opposed to just being jealous or envious.
So
And most
what determines which route you go?
personality, upbringing, I don't know.
No, it's a choice because there's people that are not not ambitious that are rich and started early.
Well, I don't know if that's
Period.
true. So
Oh, it is.
I've
Yeah.
hung around with people who are jealous of something someone has. I've never been that way. I always just think to myself, "Oh, good for you, man. Nice that you can afford to do that."
No, your personality doesn't determine what time you start investing. That's
No, that's not
not
what I'm
at all.
saying. So many people are immature, right, about how they see someone who's rich. I mean, all you have to look at it is where all the socialism's coming from, right? Socialism is because they're envious of what other people have and they don't, right?
Right.
So,
I don't think envious is the right word because envious
or
is like
jealous.
I'm frustrated that you have something and I want it and I'm mad.
Yeah,
Versus like,
jealousy.
but not everybody has that jealous
Can they do it?
opinion. Like when I see a rich person, I'm not envious. I'm more
Neither am
like
I. Neither am I.
Well,
That's what
then that just answered your question.
No, it doesn't, because again, what I'm saying is today, young people are not seeing that there's a way to achieve what they want, right? They either want it now or they expect it to be handed to them, right? Thus
Yeah, well, for
socialism.
sure.
So they are envious.
They
I mean,
want it
sure,
now.
you can take that lane. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I think in adding on to that, I think people, we always want it sooner, faster, now,
Right.
and like, yeah, I mean, I do think, yeah, it is maybe it can get harder, but in some aspects, like, I think it's also easier to learn today than in the 90s or 80s.
Yes,
It's like, and especially
absolutely.
like, dude, like, the fractional share stuff. You don't have to buy a whole, like, you could
Robinhood.
literally,
Like
yes, seriously,
Robinhood, if you have $1, you can open
right,
Robinhood with no money. Robinhood
straight up, man.
actually has educational things on there. Like
That's right.
you can learn the stock market. You can learn how to
You could
short sell.
invest
You can
five
learn an
dollars
option. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it's like versus before, you had to have maybe a couple thousand to do stuff. Like you had to save up 1,000 and then go buy a share, save up and then call a broker. So like today,
Yeah.
like straight up, you would have to have a broker do this for you
Mhm.
before the
Mhm.
internet. That was
Yeah.
what, just 25 years ago?
So
Like
as bad as we're saying we're saying the kids are unlucky because debt is at all-time high, AI is coming, but
yeah, my grandma said that too.
right, but they're also lucky because they have all these tools
Right,
that we
right.
didn't have. Like you could have
Yeah,
learned at 14, what the school didn't teach you. But then it
right.
boils down to, I still think it boils down to willpower, and I think that's something you're born with. I don't know if that's something that like everyone has the ambition or the willpower to be successful.
So I think it's your parents personally,
I'm not
right?
sure, man. I don't know. I actually truly don't know the answer.
Because you'll have some parents that look at that bastard or whatever, right? They're lucky for where they are.
Yeah,
Others will
that was my parents, and I didn't turn out that way.
sure, but usually children follow in their parents' footsteps, right? In terms of what they're preaching. No? Okay.
No.
I disagree, but okay.
I think they do till a certain age, and then they start thinking for themselves. But
Sure. Sure.
Personal
Eh,
choice.
but then
Yeah.
there's the
Yeah.
flip side in which parents explain to their children how you get there.
right.
Right.
And they still don't do it.
And
And there's
some
those
won't.
kids
Sure,
who
some won't.
there's
That's
kids
what,
whose
it's a
parents
choice,
are
right?
there's
Yeah.
kids whose parents are wealthy who coddle them, who do all the right things. This
Right.
is how you do the play violin from 9.
I have
This
a
is
buddy
how
like
you trade
this.
stocks, and then the kids turn out as fuck ups.
That's right.
So
Sure.
I don't.
And that's what
I
I
don't know,
And the reverse.
man.
So
I think that's why I'm saying it's a choice. Whether you, no matter your circumstance or your personality, like
Right.
you can choose at any time to say, well, I gotta. To me, I just think it's just part of like maturity. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you make the choice to like, I better do something.
I think the
You
choice
know?
comes later, but I think before choice is like a willpower. And then choice, you can make it anytime. Like I can change my mind next year and be like, yeah, I don't like
Right.
business. Fuck it.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go fishing the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't mean I wasn't ambitious. And like I just made a new choice. Like I don't like it anymore. Or like maybe you just get tired of being broke and say, hey, you know, I'm kind of
Right.
getting old. I shouldn't be in debt. Let me make a choice of studying how to do something with my life. And so, but that
Yeah.
the ability to recognize those patterns, I guess, is something innate that can't be taught. I think it has to be discovered. And then, so it's not always everyone's fault necessarily, but I just don't know.
I
I
would
truly
say
don't
it
have
is.
the answer. You know, just thinking out loud here.
Yeah, I would say it's still like whether you choose to do that or you don't, it's all on you, you know.
Oh, I agree
That's
with
my
that.
opinion.
I agree
Yeah,
with
that's my
that.
opinion.
I agree with that because no one's born equal. Like, there's no equality really. Everyone has a different.
Because even, you know, Gary Vee talks about you know, because I feel like the left wants to say, oh, if you're black and you grow up poor, you're damned to hell and you're
Right.
not going to be successful.
Right.
I fully disagree with that. I don't. I think you're, you know, because Gary Vee talks about, and I think he has a solid point. Well, if you grew up rich and your parents did everything for you, didn't
Mhm.
really teach you the value of money because everything was
Mhm.
handed to you,
Mhm.
that's also a huge disservice.
Right.
And a lot of times
Right.
those kids don't turn out, you know, because so it's like I don't like, I think how you grew up has some influence in you, but you have a choice. You have, period. And I think ambition can have is maybe a part of that equation. But again, I know very non-ambitious people that
Mhm.
still just made a like they were like
Sure.
I
Sure.
kind of have to get my stuff together.
I
You
would
know,
say though,
because no one.
I would say those are exceptions to the rule. I would say generally speaking, you're going to follow in your parents' footsteps, right? If your father went to prison or you have no father, you're more likely to have problems when you grow up.
To a certain point, you follow your parents, I think.
Sure, there's exceptions and there's a lot of exceptions, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying, I think whatever your parents, whatever paradigm they're putting forward, you're more than likely going to follow, at least to some degree.
And I would disagree with that.
I would agree until a certain age, and everyone's age is different. Some people very early, some people later on, and
Mhm.
some people, like you said, just continue their entire lives. And that, I think that difference is innate. Like there's just something, and this has been going on throughout all of human history, so I don't think it's unique to our period in time. I think our period in time just has its own unique challenges and opportunities. And I think like more millionaires and billionaires will ever be made with these AI tools than any other time in history. But I also think so many people are going to be displaced
Yeah.
at the same token, like the other side of the coin. And which side are you going to fall on? I don't know. I mean, I
Speaking
know
of
where I want
coins,
to fall on. Speaking of coin, Pengu,
which
I like it.
so you want to do that over Bitcoin?
No, I have Bitcoin. I rolled out of a Bitcoin and
Dang.
put it into alts. So majority Ether.
Wow.
I think it was like from that Bitcoin, I split it up amongst 2 biotechs and 3 altcoins. That's really all I did.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
So it was Ether, Solana, and Pengu as my altcoins.
Do you buy on Robinhood?
Yeah. And then I'm staking the ETH and the Solana. And then the biotech was Iova and a psychedelic one. The Iova behaved in that same period of time. This is where I got lucky, like an altcoin. Like it mooned just like an altcoin would. And I actually sold it because I felt like it was too hot. And then it dipped. And then I bought more, and then it kept dipping, and I bought more. So I think I
Oh.
played that one right, but that's only because I've been studying that one for like 6 months.
Okay.
So like that's back to the original point of like
I see.
you can just invest, and even then it's no guarantee. It could have gone, I could have sold and then it went up, right? But at least you have a probability of success, or at least a chance. Because if you're just blindly throwing money into this shit, like Wall Street's gonna win. Well, like these algorithms, these professionals are gonna win. So you gotta have a chance. If you want to have a chance, you need to study these things. And that's where I think most people don't. And I do think that's where like the willpower, because who was it that said who you are is actually like what you do when no one's watching? Right? Like there's people who pretend to be investors, but only because like their friends, oh yeah, I'm doing this. Like when they're sitting at home by themselves, what are they actually doing? And
Right.
I think that's something that speaks to how we open the show on is what are you doing when no one's watching? Because that's like really who you are.
So I just want to go back to something Joey and I were discussing, and you too, Dan. So
Thank
you are right, Joey, but barely. So
that's
No,
Chris's way
no,
of saying
One second.
Joey.
1 second. Chris, can you repeat that for me? I had a hard
No.
time.
so here you go.
Okay, no, I'm listening.
Barely.
Approximately 42 to 51% of individuals who experience poverty throughout their childhood will also remain poor into adulthood and beyond.
The stat was what? 40 what?
42 to 51% of those who live through poverty as children will be poor as adults.
You know what that's called in research? Non-statistical significance. Like it's a coin flip, is what it means in research.
Well,
Which is like you have a choice. Like to me, like that's I still think you just
like if that was a result of a study
for the large amount of
we
people,
we don't know, we can't
Yeah.
tell if it's affecting.
for the largest amount of people in America, and I wonder if that's an American study. But,
it is. It is.
okay, good.
If this
I'm
were
like,
in
if
Africa,
it
it's
isn't,
almost 100%.
I would be way better. Yeah. But you have a choice, and I think I don't think the choice has to do with your, again, I've already said that, but your personality. But it also is very important. I will say on the same tokens that you guys are both saying, on the same token that you guys are talking about is, it is very important who you hang around with, and I don't think it takes a genius to discover, should I hang out with people in the hood or people that are working and furthering themselves?
Well, I don't
People
know if you need protection in one of those poor neighborhoods, man. I would hang out with people in the hood. Like they're gonna protect me.
But you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't take a
You might get
genius.
shot in a drive-by too.
Yes, yeah, for sure. I mean, it just does not take a genius. Like it just comes with being a mature person, and I do also, at the same token, guys like us should try to outreach to people that maybe are in that 42 to 51% to try to like, hey, dude, like let's like make a couple good decisions. You're very close to getting out of that.
Well, so
you
you brought up Ben Shapiro a little bit ago. He's, at least in my opinion, somewhat famous for saying, if you do 3 things, you will never be poor. Right?
That's right, man.
Wait, can you say it like him really fast though?
No, I can't. I don't talk like him at all.
But there 3 things you can do that could be really
those 3 things, if I remember correctly, are complete high school,
yes,
get a job, get married before you have a child.
Exactly. Yep, that's right.
Complete high school.
And I would say that's probably pretty, right, right on.
Accurate.
You know
Yeah.
that, and what Ben would say to that is that's not that difficult to do that. Like
Wait, but
that
that's
doesn't
not,
change,
that
right?
doesn't guarantee success. What?
No, it just guarantees
No,
you
it's
won't
that
be
you won't be
poor.
poor.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that formula is still working against you. Return on capital versus return on economic
Yeah.
growth. Like
Yeah.
that's not
Well,
doing you anything.
No,
he-
it's not. It's
he's
not
not
making
saying
you
you're
rich,
rich.
Dan.
Yeah, it's
not
Yes,
making
it's not
you
getting
rich.
you rich. It's keeping you
Right.
from being poor.
But it's still not
Exactly.
helping those people who are gonna feel like they should
But
fall onto
well,
socialism.
then you have to go into the American dynamic, right?
Maybe.
Because
Yeah,
wait,
maybe.
that just means you have to go into the American dynamic. Because if you're
Hmm.
not poor in America, you're rich everywhere else in the world almost.
Dude, that is
Sure,
so
but
true.
what good does that do if you have to pay all your bills here? Like that
No,
doesn't
but
mean
even
anything.
even the
for-
things that you have,
We
right?
should
It's not
compare that. The rest of
right?
the world doesn't have AC everywhere or Netflix.
right, or a car, or
I
a
don't
Or a
know. We
car.
react.
or
Listen,
Or
we
like
react
3
to
or
these
4
videos.
cars per
Hold on.
household.
We react to these videos where they're showing the hoods of Romania, and they say the hoods in the U.S. are way worse. The Romanians are saying that.
well, sure. I
Well,
don't
So
sure,
to
doubt
someone
that.
in the hood in the U.S.,
But
they're like, "Fuck you."
but
Like,
they're
what are you
referring to
talking
the
about?
violence. They're referring to the violence.
Yeah, those arguments. I don't know if that helps. Like somebody here who's struggling. It's like, yeah, I know in Mexico I can like be comfortable, but like I'm not in Mexico, you dick. Like what? What am I gonna do here?
Well, I guess
So-
it gets back to my dynamic. What I'm stating, I think it's a lot of it's envy.
Yes. Well, it's
You see people who are more successful than you, and you feel that you deserve that, or
Mm.
yes. Yeah.
I'm entitled to that. Whereas if you were to place yourself with your
Yes,
material
reciprocate.
goods anywhere else in the world, almost, you would be rich there, considered
Let me
rich.
let me
Yes.
ask you
Well,
guys
we
a
are.
question.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a question then. So, is the goal to be just happy or rich?
Well, you could argue most people who are rich are not happy.
Right, right. But so would it be easier, more cheap, more?
Yeah, but I definitely do know a lot of rich, happy people.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
will
I
say
know a lot of poor
probably
happy.
the
I know poor happy
majority
people
of
too,
rich are unhappy. I would agree with
and I know
yeah.
poor happy people too.
Absolutely.
yeah.
I do too.
And I know poor, very unhappy people.
Right.
Democrats.
So again, it's
I'm
like
so sorry. I'm so sorry.
again, it's
I
negligible, right?
like,
Like
subscribe,
so.
comment, share.
Well, it's negligible again because it just varies. So should the goal for people be? Because I think if your goal is to be happy, and you end up doing something you like, where you marry work with play, basically, that's to me in this economy a better environment for actually getting rich, because you're not
Yes.
going to stop working because you like it, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You
I
just have
agree.
to find like something productive that makes you happy. Otherwise, you could just
I
do something
completely
that
agree.
makes you happy.
Yeah.
So maybe this is all a simple thing. Like this 30-minute podcast, just focus on what makes you happy and fuck everything else. Like,
Well, things are changing in America, but I still do believe if you apply yourself, you work hard, you're intelligent, you can be rich. Anyone
I
can.
agree.
sure.
I definitely agree.
But
with
I
that.
think
let me-
that's slowly changing.
Let me ask you though: would people that are happier still want socialism, or would they be okay with how things are? If we just forget about rich, because we know majority won't, but if people were happy, would they still want socialism? I think no.
I would make the argument no, because I mean it's like if you're part of or a benefit to being happy is having free choice, right?
Yes.
Not to be forced down in one way to go. That might make a small select few happy, but then like a large majority of people or a majority of people unhappy, unhappy that you are forced and something crammed down your throat,
Pause.
but but I mean,
I think we gotta react because
you know what,
I don't know
Dan?
what the answer
Let's
is.
do it.
Honestly, I just like this conversation because I don't think they have answers.
Yeah,
And if
I have
we
no
focus on-
opinions.
Does socialism work?
I think
Ooh,
socialism
no,
works if you
never
take out.
has,
I think it could if you take out
never has, never
corruption.
will.
I know.
Oh,
The
oh
reason
yeah,
it won't work is because
yeah.
people
You
are
can't
corrupt.
do that.
Well,
Yeah.
The people
because
who get the
humans are running
power,
it.
right? Because
Right.
the people
Maybe
who,
AI, huh?
well, don't. I mean, they might try.
Never say never.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, what winds
Anyways,
happening generally in socialism is people are worse off,
Yeah.
and the elite are even more elite, right?
Yes,
right.
100%.
Right.
100%. Well, so nobody like if these college kids would actually think about what they're saying, and high school kids that are so roaring for socialism, it's like, okay, then all your classes, let's be socialists in your classes and grades. So the people that are getting D's and F's get balanced out by the people that are getting A's and study for hours for a test. And the D's and F's that don't give a shit, they get to float off of. It's the same concept. It's the same concept. So it's like you got these freeloaders, and so now everybody gets C's. It's like,
Huh.
so you're benefiting the people that don't do jack shit,
And then the A's
you
and
know?
B's stop doing anything, and
And
everyone's
then
getting an F.
exactly, and so then C's, average of C's, what do they go do? They're like, well, if this is balancing out, I'm not going to do my work, and everything goes to F's. So it's exactly like, do you think Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and or you think they're going to take all these massive risks when it's like they have zero upside and it's going to benefit the people not working, sitting at home smoking weed all day, and then they make up $50,000 for it? I don't I don't think so. Like, geez Louise, man, who's going to
Mhm.
want to get out of bed and go fix an AC?
Nope.
It's like, come on.
Completely agree. I mean, all you have to do is look at Venezuela. Who's the one with the dude that they have a lot of oil there? It's Venezuela, right? They have a lot of oil
Yeah,
there.
Venezuela.
They were very successful 20 years ago. Then the morons in Venezuela voted for the socialist, and he's now very
That
rich.
quickly became dictator.
Yeah, who's also very rich and wealthy, and they were all starving for a while. The
Yeah.
Maduro diet, they called it, or something.
Socialism wouldn't work. I'd rather have like medieval feudal, where you have voluntary serfs working for a lord than socialism. But anyways, let's do some reactions, guys.